Hello. Hello, welcome back to another Treat Yourself book review. I am Nikki Soon, as always, and I'm here today to talk to you about Elevation by Stephen King. Oh, by the way, today I am sporting a Josh wine. It's white. I want to say it's Pinot Grigio. This is my first Stephen King book I read. I am usually more like creepy or crime or mystery, so I figured I'd give it a try. And again, same thing as I did with Colleen Hoover. Since it's my first time reading him, I figured nice and tiny book. Love that. So this little novella called Elevation. You know, it is not horror or scary, kind of like what you usually think of Stephen King for. It is definitely more science fiction. And also very mundane. It's kind of like, this book is about, just to summarize, and it's quite simple to summarize. So it's about this man who is in his, he probably says specifically, but I don't remember. So I picture him in like his late 40s, like 48, and he is losing weight rapidly and he doesn't know why. It doesn't sound like much of a problem, but the issue is that it's rapid, and the tricky part is that when he goes on the scale with clothes on, like when you're at doctors, then he weighs himself again, like taking off his clothes, like most people do. So he's like wearing nothing and he weighs the exact same. Like, that doesn't make sense. So then it gets further and further, like, you know, when he picks things up, the weight of an object gets less, is nothing. So he just the scale keeps going down and down, and he just like stops working with gravity. Like, his body's just getting lighter and lighter. So that's like the main plot throughout the whole movie, and you're kind of still reading it and enjoying it, and you're just kind of like, this is weird. Like, this is the plot. This is so odd. I won't spoil yet, so in case you want to keep watching, I'll let you keep watching. I'll let you know when it's getting real spoily. That's the main plot in the background. But in the foreground, you're seeing him like develop different relationships. One of the big relationships in this is his neighbor. And his neighbor just doesn't vibe. You ever have, you know, for me, like a professor or a boss who just, we don't vibe. Like, we can't get a drink after work. Like, you say 2 + 2 = 5 somehow. Like, I just don't understand you. No vibing here. We are vibeless. That is what was happening with him and this girl. And he wanted them to vibe. He wasn't hitting on her or anything. She's married. But he just was like, be my friend. Let's be neighbors. Give me some salt. We can come over for a glass. You can use my butter. He's like, be my neighbor. Be my friend. I'm really cool. And so you see that kind of relationship builds and builds. And also with the woman who just doesn't like him. She's married to a woman, and in town they're all like all sassy and don't want to support them or support their restaurant business because they're a married couple and they're gay. And they're just haters. And the main character is trying to, not that he's trying to be like the knight in shining armor, like they're fine. But he's just trying to be nice, and like when people are being mean, he's like, ew, don't be mean, you nastiness, you guy, for no reason. Ew. Here's the time for spoilers, so if you do want to read it, just shut me off and follow me on Instagram and YouTube and subscribe to my website and love me, but you can leave now. Anyway. Spoiler time. The book, how it ends. So pretty much he becomes like best friends with these two women. He also becomes like, the town loves them and ignores that they're gay. And they like, not ignores, they just like got over it because she won a big race and she's just being an icon. So they kind of just got over it, the whole thing. So now they're nice and lovely. He's just living his best life. Like in his social relationships. He just feels like he has been elevated. And he said something like that, and I was so shook. I don't think I saved the page. You ever get so excited when the title, that's not like, when the title said in the book or a title of the movie said in the movie, that's what it kind of was. And I was like, I was in the car, my boyfriend was driving, And I go, oh my God, they just said elevation. He said, okay, it's cool because it's the title of the book. Cool. And then he kept driving and then put on his music louder. He has the assumption now that when it hits 0, he's gonna die. So the day happens and getting floaty, he's floating up. He decides to go out into the yard, unbuckle his seatbelt. He's like in a wheelchair. He gets out of this wheelchair and he unbuckles it and he just floats away. Just floats into the sky. Floats away. I was reading the book, shook. Like, where is he going? And that's that. I'm reading you the last sentence. So, somewhere high above them, Scott Carey continued to gain elevation, rising above the Earth's mortal grip with his face turned toward the stars. He was gone. See you later. Adios, amigos. Would I recommend? How many stars? All that? 5 stars. Love it. 5 bookworms. Boom, 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 boom. Bookworms 5. I really enjoyed it. It was really warm. Cheers to flowing away. My uncle said I move my head too much when I do these. So let me try to practice. Ew, but then I look like a stiff librarian. So yeah, no, go read it. Especially if you're, want to check out Stephen King like I did. Like lately I've been on a kick of when I don't know what to read, let me try to read one of these big name authors that I haven't read yet. A James Patterson book. Is it Lucy Foley? Is that her name? If that's not a real author's name, I'm just gonna cut this out. It doesn't matter. I usually do these at night. So much better during the day. So yeah, just a reminder too. So we have Treat Yourself has a book subscription. So every month, every other month, or twice a month, you can get a book sent to you, like a magazine subscription, but for a book. And you can get books like this if you can choose a category or categories that you prefer. So we have science fiction, we have fantasy, crime, romance, even like self-help books. Get a subscription, read with me, you can read all the time. It's like, oh, I would love to read more, but should I just binge watch New Girl for the 70th time? No, read a book. A book's coming my way, a new one's coming. So it's like, yeah, you know what, I will read. And I enjoy it once I start it. So get a book. Treat yourself with Treat Yourself. Let me tell you too what book clubs are coming up. So right now we're reading 24 Hours in Paris. Some of us still are. We have an Asbury Park book club. It's every other month. It's romance. So if you'd like to join, go here, treatyourself.us, and you can join. Our book was 24 Hours in Paris, and still the Philly book club is reading that. So we'll talk about it then, and then you'll get a book review on it. So for our next book club book, this is for you. So we voted between these 2 books. It was Accidentally Engaged and An Heiress's Guide to Desire and Deception. Deception and Desire. Between these 2, it was at 46% for both of them. So we'll probably eventually read both, but Accidentally Engaged is going to be first. So if you want to join me and read this, go to Treat Yourself, join our club for Asbury Park, or just get a book subscription. So yeah, that's that. That is Elevation by Stephen King. Again, will recommend, and you can get that book and more at treatyourself.us. So, as always, myself, and I. Again, I am Nikki Soon. You can follow me on Instagram on my personal account at Nikki Soon. But more importantly, follow Treat Yourself LLC on Instagram and YouTube. And we have a Facebook page. So follow us everywhere. But yeah, Instagram, YouTube, we have blogs, any news of upcoming events, just making friends and drinking wine, having a good time. Have a lovely day, night, evening, birthday, weekend, weekday, whenever you're watching this. All right, that's it for me. Bye. Also, if you think I have makeup on my shirt, it's because I do. And I'm hoping in the camera you can't tell.